Macroeconomic Equilibrium by Graham Bocklet. At the price level PE, the aggregate demand for goods and services is equal to the aggregate supply of output. The output and general price level in the economy will tend to adjust toward the equilibrium position. If the price level is too high, there will be an excess supply of output. If the price level is below equilibrium, there will be an excess demand in short run. In both situations, there should be a process taking the economy towards the equilibrium level of output. In the long run, increases in demand in a competitive market will cause increases in output. Initially, markets will increase in demand will have firms experiencing economic profit. Inversely, a decrease in demand in a market will cause decreases in output. Markets with a decrease in demand will have firms experiencing economic losses. Over time, markets with firms experiencing economic profits will have additional firms enter the market, and prices will decrease toward previous levels. If cost conditions remain the same, then prices will revert to what they were before the increase in demand. If quantity demand increases and supply remains unchanged, a shortage occurs leading to a higher price until quantity demanded is pushed back to equilibrium. If quantity demand decreases and supply remains unchanged, a surplus occurs, leading to lower price until the quantity demanded is pushed back to equilibrium. If quantity demand remains unchanged and supply increases, a surplus occurs, leading to a lower price until the quantity supplied is pushed back to equilibrium. If quantity demand remains unchanged and supply decreases, a shortage occurs, leading to a higher price until the quantity supplied is pushed back to equilibrium. A recession is a situation where an economy is operating at below its full employment equilibrium. Under this condition, the level of real gross domestic product is currently lower than its full employment, which puts downward pressure on prices in the long run. In order to get out of a recession, you must use an expansionary policy allowing the economy to reach its full equilibrium. One example of when unemployment may become higher than average is when there are new advancements in technology, which ultimately takes away jobs from workers. This could put an economy into a recession. Since more job seekers are in the market, they tend to settle with lower wage. Lower wage will lower aggregate supply curve and causing the price to decrease. Lower price will increase consumption. This process will continue until economy reaches long-run equilibrium. Inflation is the distance between the current level of gross domestic product and full employment real GDP. The inflationary gap is named because the relative increase in real GDP causes an economy to increase in consumption, which causes price to rise in the long run. Since job seekers are less than job openings in the market, employers are forced to raise the wage to attract new workers. High wage will decrease the aggregate supply and raise the price. Higher price will lower consumption. This process will repeat until the long-run equilibrium is reached. Inflation is a sustained increase in general level of price for goods and services. One classic example of how inflation can become a problem is when the government prints too much money. This leads to a rise in GDP and ultimately a higher price for goods. During an inflationary gap, the buying power of money will go down. Stagflation is a situation where the inflation rate is high, the economic growth rate slows down, and unemployment remains steadily high. It raises a dilemma for economic policy since actions designed to lower inflation may exacerbate unemployment, and vice versa. Stagflation occurs when the economy isn't growing but prices are, which is not a good situation for a country to be in. An example of this happened in the 1970s, when the world's oil prices rose dramatically, fueling sharp inflation in developed countries. For these countries, including the US, stagflation increased the inflationary effects. Thank you for watching.